Okay, thank you.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. I said Assalamu alaikum because you'll know later on why I said this Assalamu alaikum, because a lot of Muslims are watching this. My name is Dr. Ina, I'm a clinical psychologist, psychotherapist, speech and language therapist, and today I my guest is basically a mental health worker and doctor also. His name is Dr. Ahmed Abdi, and he is from Somaliland. And what intrigued me about his work is I saw that he is going door to door and providing facilities to people who cannot take mental health help, and it's more like he's providing mental health first aid and going door to door. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmad, agreeing on coming to us today. And can you introduce yourself? He's basically for Somaliland, but he will introduce himself more. Thank you so much for coming to us today. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anila. My name is Dr. Ahmed, and I'm medical doctor, also psychiatric practitioner. Uh, I based Somaliland. Somaliland is internationally part of Somalia, but 1991, after a decade of wars, Somaliland self-declared to be segmented from Somalia, but internationally is a part of Somalia still, and it has not yet get international recognition. That's where I work, and that's where I am live.
Okay. So, can you tell me about the work that you are doing? Because I have seen you share your work that you go door to door and you provide them mental health facilities. Maybe you provided them other facilities also. How you how you come up with this idea? Because it's a very unique idea. And like I'm working with other youth that are from Gambia, and we find a different way to help each other out. Like we will do trainings, we are doing some community things, but every area have to work out. No matter how much help you have, at the end the people, the local community have to build a way to help each other out. So like where are you from? They over there people don't have uh, awareness, and people don't have maybe facilities, they don't have financial help, and but you're going door to door and you're helping them out. How you come up with this idea?
Thank you so much. I work in a mental hospital called Mandaye. Mandaye means man is a main, it's
Mhm.
a mind in Somali. And Daye means traced, it's a mind traced, it's just like that name.
Mhm.
So it is a first mental hospital based, or it is established in Bur'o town, Bur'o city. Bur'o city is the second largest city in Somaliland, and uh, people live in it. It's estimated about 700,000. So that hospital works only mental health, and it is a tied hospital for mental health in all Somaliland. So the daily basis or our activities or our job in the hospital or hospital activities is inpatient, outpatient, and also counseling. Also, we go outside. I mean, outreach and visit homes because basically the Somali community uh, have a bad perception about mental illness. They think mental illness comes due to God's will or a curse from or evil spirit. So they don't believe uh, the mental illness has a curable. So in order to remove that bad idea or that bad negative, usually they kept mentally ill people uh, in order to understand. Basically, in Somaliland, there is no internationally Somaliland. There's no recognition. Um, people, most of the people or most of the youngs are uh, there. There's unemployment, huge unemployment. Also, some drugs are legally comes in Somaliland, like uh, khat or chat. Chat is a psychostimulant system, or it is a leaves, psychostimulant leaves. So, all apart from all that, there is a decrease of civil wars and plus bad perception or misunderstanding about mental illness. They don't believe that mental illness has a cure or has a treatment. So, in order to remove that bad idea or that negative perceptions, we go to the homes and we meet a people chained or patients chained more than 20 years, 10 years, and 5 years, and neglected people or kept in homes. So we try uh, to make awareness and counseling uh, in order to educate the family. We give free treatment and also free counseling. And after a time, we connected to the hospital. And that's why Monday Hospital was established 2008. And 5 years ago, we started to make registration in Excel data, and people are registered. Registered people are about more than 14,000 right now, and uh, both inpatient and outpatient. So we get somehow some medicines and some trainings from Ministry of Health, Ministry of Health, Somaliland Ministry of Health, and we do a lot of work and a lot of awareness in order to remove that bad perception about mental illness. And we told them, like any other disease or like any other illnesses, mental illness can be cured or lived with when you take in some medications. That's that. That's what we do.
And the thing that you mentioned, I'm sure that you all have been through a lot of hard work by putting all those things. Because if we look toward the other side, if we even look toward the religion side, even religion is not stopping. If like I'm a lot of people might be like you're if we like say maybe you are Muslim, I don't know, maybe you're not Muslim, or a lot of people in your
Yes,
country would,
I understand.
yes, like because
I
sometimes
understand.
in Gambia there are a lot of Muslim also, but I don't say that because sometimes I'm talking to people who are not non-Muslim, who are non-Muslim, and I don't want them to feel bad about anything, because we have to respect other people also. So we know that in our religion it is not even stopping us from taking help, taking medical help, and going to the hospital and taking any kind of medication. But if we look toward the old school of thought, and they are associating illiteracy and bad, like they would call it bad omens, they will call it somebody's possessed. A person is possessed if he's having some kind of problems. For example, if a person is having some kind of fits, that person is possessed, that soul is possessed. And it's more like a lot of people are still thinking it in the other perspective, that for mental health you don't even need to go for to the hospital, you don't need to take medication for that. And they don't understand that that could be a life threatening condition too. If you even look toward the depression, if the person is suicidal, you need to take immediate help. If you look toward the schizophrenia, that person need medication so that he may not hurt himself. Like the person is hurting himself also, and we need to consider those things also. So the like the procedure that you are doing, I would like to ask you that how much do you feel that you are successful in changing the perspective of those people, or still you need to I'm sure that we can understand somehow that we need to go a long way toward change the perception of the people. But the efforts that you are doing, how much result you are getting from that? Like you said that 40,000, 14,000 people are registered to that, and people are coming to you, and some are inpatient, some are outpatient, and that is a success, I would say that, and that is a very good model you people are applying. So if you look toward that situation, how you look to like, according to you, is it a success for you, or you still need to go, or you are facing some kind of problem in that?
Thank you so much. As you told, many people believe, or many Muslim people, or many Muslim community believe that mental illness is a like weak vibes or weak iman.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we told them there are many ilages. A traditional healer or a spiritual healer call it ilaj.
Mm-hmm.
There are many ilages, so many ilages in Bur'o city, and they do very bad, some atrocious actions. They, they do some bad actions against dignity or humanity. Sometimes they dehumanate patients.
Mm-hmm.
They chain and they give some oils and
Yeah,
some
and sometimes they beat
herbals.
them also. They
Yes,
chain them,
and
they
they
tie
don't
them to
know.
the bed, and they beat them also.
Yes, and they beat them. So that people, that patients, mentally ill patients, is like other people. They may have a physical conditions like a cardiovascular problem, liver problem, renal problem. So they deteriorate or they exacerbate they worsen the, their condition. So in order to pass, in order to succeed that gap, I myself also I am a poet and I write a poet uh, talking to the community, or I write some short films or some scripts
Mm-hmm.
about mental illness that I wanted to persuade for the community exactly of mental illness and mental service. So from last 5 years, it's getting better. People understanding when they watch or when they hear. Uh, I sometimes I give a small video that I'm talking my mother language, Somali language, and when they listen, they call me or they contact me, and people they think it is a shame. This is a shame. Mental illness is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, if 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 you feel mental illness, they call wali in Somali word wali. Wali means mad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, any kind of mental illness they call mad. And if you feel madness or if you feel any mental illness disorder, this is a good. You are a weak. You have a weak iman, and you are a bad person, and you are an impure person. So they believe if you are a pure Muslim, it's impossible to feel a mental illness or depression. But we told that there is no one script that Allah promised Muslim people and to that they are not that they can't admit any mental illness. So and to my best concept here, I think he uh, we are on the we are on the way of success, but we are not reaching still a big point or high steep place.
The thing is that even then I would say, because this is a very unique idea that you are practicing, and very few people think like that. Whenever I'm talking to people, they say to me that, help us, we want to have some kind of a, some project need, and I need to say, mention them to that. uh, I am doing what I can do, and this is my capacity, that I can provide maybe my skill, the skill that I have, the skill that I learned from working, the skill that I learned from different things. I just want to reach out to communities where we can help each other to learn our cultures, and to grow in terms of helping other, in terms of, to have a community that where mental health is no more a stigma. People, if it's more like, when you are having some kind of headache, you don't need to prove that I am having headache. The doctor is going to give you medication, and people are going to take care of you. Yes, this person have headache, please sit on a chair, please drink some water, and you can take a day off. But if you said this to somebody, that you have some kind of a stress, you are having some kind of depression, you're facing some kind of stress in your life, and you're not able to maintain your concentration on the task, they're going to ask you, you are just lazy, you're just running away from things, you're just running away from your responsibilities. And you need to understand, people need to understand that it's not like that. These people are not those people are actually facing problem. And this is a good idea. If somebody is not coming to, I think we need to reach out to those houses and tell them if they have any patient, if, because the stigma is still attached, and people don't want to come to mental health facilities. So this is a good way to have indoor facilities for those clients, just like we are providing indoor facilities for people with stroke who cannot come to the hospital. And uh, and even if you are able to success if you're successful in maybe helping 2 houses, 3 houses, or maybe more than that, then that is a big success. And I would count is a big success actually. Because uh, the uh, the awareness start from one house, and then it multiply. Like, the work that you are doing, it will be slowly multiply, and people will gradually come to you, and people will try to understand more, and people will start taking care of those people who have mental health problems. But I think you have started something, the people that you are working out, the hospital that you are working, and you have started something very good. And it's like, like you burn a candle, and that candle is going to burn other candle too. But the problem that, like you mentioned about the religious perspective of that, maybe it's a Saturn overpowering you and clouding your judgment, and so many other things. But if you look toward the ratio of gender, either you encounter a lot of male or a lot of females, like they take help from you. Is it difference in the gender, or is it just like male is coming because male have to earn for the family, so his health is more important than a female health because she has to work at home? Do you face something also, like the gender biasness is there?
Thank you so much. Before that, before I answer that, I wanted to tell you, first, in Somali culture, it is a shame that here is some of your family member is a mental illness. And when they saw or when they see someone have a mental illness in your home, they use a very bad words, which makes it an stigma or stigmatization. And also, still there is a high discrimination and high stigma in Somali culture in terms of mental illness. So uh, when we visit or reach homes and meet a mentally ill patient, uh, other neighbors accept the medication when they saw someone who has been mentally ill for about 10 years. When they see that the patient become a good recovery, when they see, they accept and they say, uh, hello doctor, I have I know another family who has a mentally ill patient. who's chained in the room for the last 10 years. And when you visit and have you even met a doctor, they told you no, this person or this patient have been sick for the last 20 years, and we recite a Quran, and we give a tahleel, something called tahleel, and we we give up when there's no change. So when we give a medication or medicine, when many chained people, or many people who slept in homes, when they took medicine, they get a good recovery, and some of them are working with us, our hospital. Some of them are working in our hospital. So they accept it, and now every weekend, we visit a new village, and we met some mentally ill patients, and we give a treatment plus counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And we told them uh, even we discuss about right now we discuss and met and for election leaders, and they accept our counsel and our idea, and they say, we would like, if you if this is possible, will you come to us every weekend in order to check for the patients, which uh, which is not about if if I or something like that, which one need modern medication. So uh, if we look that side, it's very successful, our program.
Okay. And I like this idea very much that, it is not an easy job to give hope to people, those who have, like you mentioned, that you work with people who were chained in 20 years. And that is a big, you know, there's a long period of your life that a person have, facing that. Now, I would also like to ask you one question, because, like, from your discussion, but I would appreciate the fact that those people are now volunteer, and they're like they're working with your organization, and that is the best way, because you just not rehabilitate, you're just not work with their mental condition, but you're also rehabilitating them, and that is the model for mental illness, that you are providing them rehabilitation, and you're making them a useful part of the society, and they start not just trusting their self but trusting the society also, and they want to give their services to the society. Now, I would like to ask you a question, that what about the condition of the children? How you work with them? Do they come to you, or you are having the same kind of model with with those community, like the children? Do they come to you, or you just visit them and you also work with those people?
Thank you so much. Previously, after before the corona, we have a daycare center or day clinic. So uh, autism, uh, children that have autism, we were uh, uh, we were in the hospital, particularly a day clinic part. But from corona time up to now, uh, we give only counseling children, and we see many children who has autism, or cerebral palsy, or kind of mental disorders, ADHD, uh, and so on. So we give counseling, only counseling. Yeah. Uh, don't don't beat your child. It might possible to when your baby grow, when your child grow, it's possible to 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 heal, or uh, become a better. So make a good reward, and but never try to beat. If you beat them or if you beat your child, uh, you worse the situation. So we give only counseling, but there is no in our city.
Mhm.
There is no There's no psychiatrist.
Okay. So
We are
more like
only
that you are
psychiatric
working
practitioner,
with the
but we
parents and you are providing them counseling that how to work with your child, but somehow you are not able to work with child uh, directly. And like I'm working with Gambia, and with that group we have also group related to the other areas too, like in the Gambia and the other related areas too. And they told me that they have one or two doctors, and one of them can deal children, other is just a mental health practitioner, and that is for the whole area. So I'm not just talking about Gambia, I'm talking about other areas too. And they don't have facilities, and they don't have, and they're the youth people, they're a group of youth, and they're doing different activities, and they have a lot of members. And when you see that you know people are working for food, they would say that people are not able to eat anything. Okay, they work for food, they work for hygiene, maybe they work for water, but and they also work for other pandemic kind of situation to other kind of, they work for vaccine too. But nobody is talking about mental health trauma, the trauma that they all are facing, the trauma that they have because of uncertainty, the trauma they have because of poverty. And children are not able to go to school, and we know that, like you also work with community, and you know that there's no one that can help those children, and those children are going undiagnosed maybe, or maybe treated, you could say that, or nobody is providing them therapy like behavior therapy, occupational therapy, play therapy, speech therapy. And they can be better and better independent if they got these facilities. And um, uh, if like even sometimes what I feel is that uh, we say that there's a lot of technology we have, and like people want to go to moon, and they are going in space shuttle. And I don't know, whatever they are doing, you know experiments on quantum physics, and they are trying to change the wave of the length of the world, and they're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. Like talking about time travels, and nobody's talking about mental health. Nobody's talking about how to work a child in the community who don't even understand that what mental health is. Okay, somehow you understand that there is an adult person who can talk to you and communicate to you about those problems. But what about those children? What about those individuals who cannot talk to you, who cannot share their pain, who cannot share their sorrow, even they cannot share their hunger and thirst, and nobody is thinking about that. I don't know. We can pray for that. Maybe Allah put something in their mind, or people like us want to help them. And I think maybe somehow we are getting successful somehow. Whatever we are trying to do, I would not say that I'm not successful in something, and I'm not even saying that you're not successful in what you are doing. Maybe not in the form of material advantage, but if two or three people came to you, you help them out, and they want to become part of your team, and they help three more house, and they three more house come to you, and they become part of your team. So work is going on, and we need to maybe amplify, and we need to unite actually. That's why I talk about global alliance. That's why I talk about global helping each other, understanding culture. And this is what we can do. We have to provide a solution. What solution we can provide? Because we know that children have a whole life. Like, for example, I'm working with autism, I work with the ADHD community. Like you said, that children are coming to you, but you're trying to work with their parents and you're providing them counseling. And we can extend our services to the children, and we can do a lot. And um, we can help each other. And I would do that for you, whatever I can do and wherever I can do. And we will talk about this later on. But over here, I would like to say something. I ask you something. If the work that you are doing, like we talk about the social perspective of that thing. Now, I would like to know that uh, if you talk, because you are somebody who is working, but if we say that you also have a family, you are also a married person, how much your family is helping you out in that. And that is important aspect to understand, that without any kind of support you cannot do the work that you are doing. So how much your family is supporting in the work that you do?
If what?
The work that you are doing, how much your family is supporting your work?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a good idea. All things that you are talking about is a very interesting. Um, and you tell me many good idea which can help me and my community. So I am uh, thank you so much. It's a very interesting question, and I like it. Uh, uh, my family, I keep my family support. I'm married, and I have a beautiful wife and intelligent wife, and I love her, and she helping me, and she. When I get tired at work or when I get tired to do something, she encouraged me to do her or to do more. And she tell me that uh, she say you are helping your community. Uh, Nevertheless, regardless money, you are helping your community. And if you are helping your community, your God or your my Allah give you a best reward. And my family support you for my work.
Okay. And I think that is the most
and
beautiful
they,
thing.
and she understand well about mental health because we discuss many times about mental health, and also my family, my mom and my some brothers and sisters, they know well about mental health, and they sometimes they told me there's a family who have a chained patient or chained a son uh, for 10 years. So how can we help them? So after that time, we plan how can we help. We plan.
Okay. And you know what I'm getting the sense over here, that what I feel is the healer, or whether you call them doctor or a psychiatrist, or the some that people that who are working with mental health community, for them they also need a support, and a big part of support is required, because the work they do, they there is a lot of physical and mental work at the same time. And like you talk about your wife, I just little bit know about her, because through somehow through Twitter also. And it is, you know, and that is a very beautiful thing, that the family that you're around, they also know about mental health, and they are also supporting your work, and support and helping other people out by taking your help, and you know, and aiding you, like that, the way they can, like support they can. Maybe they cannot go to you, but they're telling you that somebody's need, and like the thing that you're talking about, that somebody's in chain, and how we can help them. And from your discussion, I am getting one idea more and more. Like you mentioned this incident, is there something like in your community, when somebody have this is happening in other communities also, like from where I belong, there are a lot of people who are on in chain. Maybe in the childhood they're not in chain, but when a time came when they're more aggressive, then they when they grow up and they're aggressive children, then they chain them because of certain reason. But is it like that every person, or a lot of people in your community, or where you're living, or the surrounding area, with mental health problems, they chain those children? Like maybe they chain them, or they block them in a room. Is it is like it is a regular practice in your place, or they're treating them in some other way also, other than healing practices, other than you know, that
Uh,
non-religious practices like that?
when in my community, when when they see or when they feel their son or their daughter get a problem or member of family get a mental disorder, uh, they went to the village traditional healer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, After that, if there is no change, they go back to the home and change it. Not only in the urban, those who in rural, they change in tree, and some of them might die or might it took animals like snakes or hyena or and so on. So they uh, they go back to the home and change that and change there and change there because they don't like people to see this person, because if the people see this person or if the community see this person, they say, aha, this family, Allah cursed them,
Mm-hmm.
or
Exactly.
a good people gathering cursed them, or they are impure Muslim because member of them uh, get a mental ill.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, they hide in their homes because by because of they don't like to see people because of they 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 make discrimination. That family has a madman, or they have a bad man, and that bad man is possible to kill or to harm for
Mm-hmm.
the neighbors. So he must be hidden by his family
Mm-hmm.
or her family. So uh, chained or chain is a very common in my community.
Okay, let me share some practices over here too. What sometimes they do, sometimes they would burn the people with the fire. Sometimes two or three people are holding them and they are trying to, there's a kind of a, they write down something on the paper and they burn that thing and they ask them to inhale that, that uh, the smoke that is coming from that. Or sometimes they would use a cloth piece paper of piece of cloth, and then they will burn it and then they will let that person to do. And then there's a lot of physical abuse involved in that too, like they will hit that person with uh, maybe with rods, or sometimes they start using some kind of stick and they will hit that person with a stick, so that that omens come out and they understand that that is not bad omen. But I have seen a lot of people who have epilepsy. Like, what is epilepsy? They have fits and they think that they are having some kind of they are possessed by some thing, and that thing is coming on that. And they don't understand that that is a life and death condition, and they need to seek immediate medical condition, and they need to go to the doctor to see those things. But like the faith healers or whatever the practice healer that we have in our, we all have in our communities, or maybe some magician or whatever they call it, they are just making people understand that thing, that if they will not follow them, then this bad omen is going to stay with them, like their whole family is cursed, and if they don't follow that. And sometimes those practices are very ill practices, like we don't even want to talk about those practices. And people need to understand that a person life can be safe if you go to a hospital. You are going to save your child, you are going to save your brother, your sister, your parents, if they have some kind of mental health condition, by going to a mental health facility in the hospital. And your and that person will stay with you for the life. Otherwise, like you said, that a lot of children, maybe a lot of adults, maybe lose their life because of these malpractices, and nobody's even talking about it. We have seen, like, let me give you another, because we just start talking about that. They would sometimes in our area, like that, this happened that there was nail in somebody woman head, like some healer this that, because she had some kind of bad omen attached to her. So can you imagine that a woman who is alive and somebody has a nail in her head, and we don't think so that they didn't use any kind of anesthesia and they did that. So they are doing those things, and nobody's and these are acceptable practices too, and people would go to that places and they will pay money to them also, like a lot of money. It's not little money, they pay them a lot of money, but they don't want to take that person to the hospital where that person could be saved. And in those practices a lot of people died, and they say that uh, that bad woman take their life, like the thing that they were attached to that. And with this discussion I would I would just like to conclude the discussion that we are doing, but I would like to say thank you to you also, because you bring to a very different perspective. Like I am talking to a lot of people for a lot of time, but nobody discuss about that aspect. Like this aspect is also in our prevail in our country too, but that is a very big aspect and people don't even talk about that. Cultures don't talk about that, and I'm happy that you bring that discussion to us and we have a detailed discussion on that. But I would say that, and I would like to appreciate the work that you do and the work that your wife is helping you out to do and the family that you're doing. At the end, is there something that you want to give a message to our people who is going to listen to this discussion later on? What do you like to say?
Thank you so much, Petronila. It's a very interesting topic, and I get many experience from you. So last message is my last message to the community or to the people is mental illness, like any other illness, like any other disease, hypertension, diabetic, TP, like any other illness, mental illness can be cured or lived with by taking medication. And please stop discrimination and stigma for mentally ill patients or mentally ill people. Uh, if you can't help them, please do not worse or do not make don't try to dehumanate people. Don't try to dehumanate or don't don't do bad things. If you can't help the people, please stop discrimination and stigma for mentally ill patients or mentally ill people. That's my message to the community.
Thank you so much for um, the insight that you give us about the community. And I would say that why I call this a global phenomena, maybe international phenomena, global village. We actually are facing maybe same kind of things if we talk about culture wise, and these are practices are there maybe because of we are belong to maybe religion has a part in that. But I would say that if we talk about even religion aspect, it is not even stopping us to go to the doctor. It asks us to go to doctor and take medication if we need any kind of help. And I think we need to do those discussion more. We need to create more awareness, and we will talk about more things. And thank you so much for your time. And at the end, I would like to say that mental health matter the most, and treat and talk or think about mental health the way that you're thinking about physical health. So from that, I would like to say thank you so much for everybody for listening, and see you in the next discussion. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.